Yo, 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 good people, it's your homie HerbMan, busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. But please go tell somebody, your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I am your homie HerbMan. We're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Go get somewhere, get situated so that we can help you heal yourself by teaching you how to heal yourself. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you here. You come to the right place to know about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, wholeness, and the wellness that you deserve. So welcome to the HerbMan Show. You guys, this is free information. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. I'm going to work for my food just like I do every day. And you're going to work for yours, and let's heal each other together, you guys. All right? Let's heal each other together, right? So all I need for you to do right now, though, is show that you're present, right? Show that you're present. Put "I'm here" in the chat. Show that you're present. Put "I'm here" in the chat. You know, just like back in school, they used to be like, they call your name, why Mina? You got to be here, present, right? And today is going to be a very special edition because I'm going to double down on why I speak about restoration without medicine. I'm going to double down on why I'm speaking that you can restore yourself without medicine. And you got to be careful about what you hear and what you say, and also what you think, because these are vibrational tools. And we're going to talk to you today why sound and light are in everything. And yes, you can get this simultaneously, but we download both of them differently. And one comes before the other in that download. And you'll understand when you understand that, then you'll get why I say you can restore without medicine. The medical language is always going to ask you what's wrong with you. But when you are real husbandry, right, taking care of the land the way that you need to, taking care of yourself, then you want to say, well, what conditions are present? Okay, not what's wrong with me, but what are the conditions that could allow this to happen to the plant, to the body, to my life? And you'll see that healing begins the moment you understand the language. The moment you understand how language can move from fault to field. That's why we're trying to get you to understand how to replace illness with terrain state and knowing people who know how to deal with the environment, deal with the terrain inside of your body, not your illness. They've been taught by people who've been taught by the people who don't know nothing. And those people who don't know nothing wrote plenty of books for folks that feel like they do know something. And they get degrees of knowledge in shit that don't even really mean nothing. So the medical is always going to say, my body is sick. I have a condition. I got this. I got that. Something is attacking me. But when you look at the regenerative part of medicine, the regenerative part of nature, you're going to be talking about your systems. Maybe it's a system that's depleted. Maybe it's a terrain that is inflamed. Maybe it's the conditions, the environment that needs to support. Sometimes nothing is wrong with the seed. You just need to redo the soil. Do you get that? Did y'all get that? Because then I can just go about my business right there. If you got it, I'm get it. You got it. We good. Okay. Sometimes it ain't nothing wrong with the seed. You need somebody that know how to fix the soil. And this will start to remove the fear without denying you of the experience. We need to replace fighting. I'm fighting this. with restoring conditions. You ain't got no need to be fighting or battling this or killing or attacking or suppressing anything. Those are egregious words that don't bring healing into your body. But again, a tiller of the ground, the husbandry language is I'm going to rebuild and replenish, stabilize, regulate. These are words that will support the life you're trying to live. So we got to realize that sound thing. We got to understand structural words instead of symptoms. Okay? The medical term they might use is inflammation. You need to use, I just may have an overwhelmed terrain. They may say autoimmunity. You may say, I just need I may have a loss of discernment within my cells. Listen to me. They may call you fatigue, but you can say it's energy conservation for the body. They may call it depression, but a different perspective is that maybe my body is just in deep winter, deep rest, deep repair. They may call it anxiety, but you can see it in a different perspective and say that you just may be dealing with excess stimulation. Get what I'm saying to you. They may call it cancer, but you can see it in a different way and call it unmanaged growth. Come on, somebody. All right. And understanding the vibration, the sounds. This keeps the conversation accurate. But we ain't got to use all that clinical jargon. We understand the importance of stabilization first before attempting to cure you, period. And the stabilization, that's the part where sound comes in. That's the part where vibration is important. Because the vibration and the stabilization, this is where we're able to help you bypass the fear of the situation. This is where we're able to help you remove these authoritative conflicts in your life. This thing begins to help you honor your experience. Your nervous system will relax when you feel safe and not under attack. And that relaxation is the doorway to freedom. That relaxation, that peace in the face of the storm. And the only time that you was able to relax the way that I'm trying to get you to was in your mother's womb. It was in your mother's womb. Was the last time that you relaxed all the way through. Living systems entrained through vibration before they orient through the vision. So this vibratory thing, this frequency thing is a very good thing, but you got to be careful. You have high frequencies, you have low frequencies. I would want you to stay within the low frequency, stay within the 40 hertz and stay within the 6 to 8 hertz and all that type of stuff. Even though I know you got 432 and 10,000 and this, that, and the third, you want to stay within the lower frequencies. Okay. There is a time and place for everything though, including the high frequencies. Because the lower frequency is going to get you, the gamma ain't nothing but about 40 hertz. Okay. So what you listening to is 430 and 485 and 500 and whatever, and the love beats. But gamma is a lower frequency. And this thing happens in the womb. Before birth, The eyes are formed, but they're functionally inactive. The womb is dark. Light is minimal and diffused. But what is present is a heartbeat. It's a breath rhythm, a voice vibration. And also you have the amniotic fluid connection or conduction. That's all the baby hears. And with that sound, the fetus learns safety. It learns timing. You guys keep tapping. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast, you guys. Okay? The fetus starts to learn timing and safety and regulation. And they do this all through vibration, not sight. We are regulated by sound way before you have ever been oriented by the light. And the herbs in the owner's manual and the foods that we're giving you, we understand the combination of the two. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as we move forward. What foods are sound and light. So this is why babies come from humming, because they're still in their vibrational communication pattern. This is why rhythm soothes before explanation. This is why tone matters with your words. In biology, sound precedes light. Somebody put that in the chat. In biology, and this is what I'm trying to teach you. You trying to go buy something and that vibration ain't in dead pills. That vibration ain't in some of these dead herbs. That vibration ain't in some of these dead foods. And nobody is talking to you enough about how to create your own sound. In biology, sound, vibration, frequency precedes vision from an evolutionary and biological standpoint. Sound is more of a mechanical communicative frequency. Make sure this phone don't fall. It's more of a mechanoreceptive type of thing, right? You have your single cells that can respond to pressure and rhythm and frequency. You also have light sensing, evolved hearing. But that happens later. And it's a little bit more complexity to that. But sound vibration is whole body. It's omnidirectional. And it's a little bit more immediate and faster than you think. A little bit more immediate and faster than you think. But it's also non-localized. Now, light and vision is a little bit more focused and directional. You have to interpret light. Light becomes then a later stage processing, not as immediate understood as sound and vibration and frequency. See, sound informs the body, but light informs the mind. These are bad boys here. These are your masculine and feminine principles. If you wanted to know her name, it's sound. If you wanted to know his name, it's light. These are your Adams and your Eves. And the first thing you got to do when you listen to me is regulate before you medicate. The first thing you got to do is regulate before you meditate. The first thing you got to do is regulate. And sound calms, but the light will guide you. This is why when you close your eyes to feel the music, you can do it better that way. You can hum to regulate your stress better. Chanting stabilizes you a little bit better. Darkness and sound, if you're sitting in a dark room or if you're in your dark, that kind of will restore you faster than just light alone. Sound is a regulator of your nervous system. That's the first step in healing. Sound can enter through the skin. Sound can enter through the bone. Sound can enter through the fluid. And it requires no focus. But light sets the circadian rhythm. Yes, it does. Light directs behavior. Light requires orientation. See, sound organizes your internal space. How many want to organize their internal space? Light organizes your external space. So when you need your life fixed externally, but when you need your life fixed internally. Now, I don't know how many of you got different problems and what problems you got, but I'm teaching you now how to use your left and right brain, how to use your special powers. And biologically, sound is the window. But we teach you how to heal through spirit and through science. So this is the science of it. But cosmologically, light is the winner. In cosmology, light comes first. And here's the important correction in the universe. Light existed before sound. But sound requires matter and medium for it to hold. And the early universe had light, but it was soundless. So cosmically, light precedes sound. But biologically and experientially, sound precedes light. Both are true, just different scales. And we're going to teach you and talk to you guys today about how to balance both, how to understand how they come into the life simultaneously. They're just being absorbed differently. And when people are overstimulated, when they're traumatized, when they're depressed, when they're burned out, you can't integrate light. When you're going through all this stuff, you can't get the insight the way that you want to, the visuals and the information the way it's clouded. You must first receive regulation through rhythm, through tone, through vibration, through safety signals that you can give yourself. See? Stop letting these folks touch you before they regulate you. And stop trying to do stuff too before you're regulated. And this is why talking fails a lot, because you wasn't regulated yet. This is why insight doesn't really land the way that it needs to. You wasn't really regulated to hear that. I can't explain you into safety. You got to vibrate yourself into it. That's why this is the experience. The body learns through rhythm before understanding, my brothers and sisters. I want y'all to know that. Sound has to stabilize you before the light can clarify anything. Vibration prepares the ground for the insight, for the transformation. You got to understand why Jesus would be baptized before he was called the Son of God. Now you are my son. Now you are my beloved son. Why did it take water? It's just a symbol, a principle of vibration, sound. We regulate first, then the anointing comes. We regulate first, then the anointing comes. You are born of vibration, my brothers and sisters, and then you are guided by the light. You need sound because sound is going to bring the safety. And the light will teach the directions. And you got to put on your seatbelt before you know where you're going. Put on your seatbelt before you know where you're going. Don't let them keep treating you in an overly stimulated body. Light is an electromagnetic wave. That means it oscillates, if y'all don't know anything about that. It has wavelengths, okay? It has frequency. It carries energy. But light don't need matter. Light doesn't need air or water or tissue. It travels through vacuum. So yes, light is a frequency, but not vibration of matter. Could we please? So we understand that, right? So light is a vibration of fields. Light is a vibration of fields. Sound is a frequency, though. Sound is a vibration of matter. Okay, sound is a mechanical frequency, not an electromagnetic wave. Sound requires a medium. It requires a bone, air, or water. It has compression and retraction or refraction. Sound has physical movement of particles. So if I wanted to move something in my body, how do I do it? Through light or through sound? If I wanted to move something, do I do it through light or sound? I'm just telling you what they both do. And if you don't have no matter, you don't have sound. Sound is the frequency to move matter. Light is the frequency to move energy. And yes, you can experience these things simultaneously, but I want you to know that they're not identical. They're not identical. And they can be simultaneous at the source, but you can experience them sequentially by the body. Like if you ever saw the lightning and then you heard the thunder? Have you ever heard music and then learned the lyrics later on? That's the type of stuff we're talking about. They can be simultaneous, but they come in a sequence. And if you never knew what I'm trying to teach you guys, I'm teaching you order. Order. They are giving you information, but the wrong application, the wrong order, the wrong programming of how things go. Yeah, we learned a lot and we know a lot, but we're not putting in the right order. This is teaching 101. When your body receives sound before light, let me explain something to you. Even though light is faster, sound is felt. Light is interpreted. When the body receives sound before light, sound can enter in various ways through the vagus nerve and the entire body at once if it wants to. Okay? That's how powerful your sound is. Light really only comes in through outside sources, your eyes, your retina, your visual cortex, your interpretation centers. But biologically, sound is the one that's organizing your internal environment. And that's what we want to get healed. Light is about getting your life right outside. Sound is about getting your life right, life right inside. And so y'all come here, you thinking, oh, this man doing this humming and this thing, because I know something that you don't know. You see? I know that sound sets the safety and light sets the direction. And this ain't philosophy, this is physiology. And the reason why this matters so much to me, as far as people healing and learning and wanting peace, is because when your systems are overwhelmed, my brothers and sisters, when the system is overwhelmed, this is because of too much light. Too much information will make you overly stimulated. When the system is overwhelmed, we know that rhythm can stabilize you. That's why we want people to understand the chantings and the music and the rhythms and the darkness and the rest. And this is how you restore without medicine. This is how you live everlasting. And this is the best remedies I can give you. But if you try to do sound alone, it won't be enough. Sound alone won't be enough. Sound alone is not enough. The vibrations, the rhythm, the tones, yes, they will calm the nervous system. Yes, they restore internal coherence. Yes, they will give you a safety feeling. Yes, it will allow for circulation in the body. But sound does not give you direction, and you need that. You need that. And you got to be able to get it. And you got to be able to know somebody that can teach you this stuff. Because sound without light, the system will feel better, but it'll stay disconnected. It'll stay disoriented. Yeah, you'll have regulation, but you'll have this high potential to go back and redo the patterns. Yes, you can get relief from sound, but it will be without integration. Sound prepares the soil, but it does not plant the crop. And so that's why light alone is not enough. And a lot of you, this is where we at. We are information hoarders, information downloaders, reading and scrolling and studying and doing this. But light alone is not enough. Light alone is not enough. And light is frequency. It's the information. It's the timing that we teach. Yes, it will set your circadian rhythm. And yes, it provides orientation and clarity. And yes, it gives meaning and reason. And yes, it guides in growth. But light cannot get you into regulation. Because light cannot enter a dysregulated system. So without sound, your light weakens. Without sound, your light can get overwhelmed. Without sound, light becomes stressful to you. Without sound, insight creates pressure. Without sound, healing turns into too much effort. Light without safety ain't nothing but stimulation. And this is why insight does not heal your trauma. Knowledge does not cure your exhaustion. And awareness without regulation only increases the anxiety. You ever seen some of these children out here know so much, but they just as stressed out as the next person? And how could it be that you know all of this stuff and you just as high wired, you just as Starbucks drinking, you just as up all night streaming and up all night Googling and researching. Yeah, you smart, but you can't even sleep. The most important thing here is the required sequence that it takes to heal you. This is key. The healing sequence in all living systems is sound first. That rhythm, that tone, that breath, that humming, that silence with vibration. That needs to come first. That's in every one of us, every living organism on the planet. And then light second. And when they say sound first, I think about putting a seed on the ground. When you put the seed on the ground, it has no light yet. When I grow my stuff, especially my microgreens, most of them will stay in the dark 3 to 4 days. And then they will just take root and sprout up. And then next thing you know, they'll push the top off of the darkness to get to the light. But in that, up under that dirt was nothing but vibrational, environmental vibration. So then light comes second, gentle sunlight, insight, vision, meaning, reason, direction. And then when you got them two, then the third one is then growth starts. Then the repair, the restoration, the rejuvenation, the reorganization, the integration can start at the growth. Regulation has to be before orientation. Safety has to be before direction. And when you look at nature, it's showing you this every day. And I'm taking my cues from mama. Nature demonstrates this every day. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. At dawn, what does the birds do? They sing before the sun rises. Sound returns life to the field. Light then directs the activity of the life. In the womb, sound is learned first. Light comes later. In sleep, darkness restores you. Subtle sound maintains the safety. Life will never heal in silence alone or light alone, but through rhythm, followed by illumination. Yes, we stabilize the system, you guys. The owner's manual, the HerbMan Inc., my brand, this is what we do. We stabilize your system before introducing you to the herbs and the foods that will guide you to your healing. We restore your rhythm before offering you direction. When you're all out of whack, you don't know what to do. But sound supports regulation. Light is going to support the reorganization. We're going to give you both. But we know that healing happens when the person is safe first. And this is the reason why a lot of people sell herbs, but you don't got a lot of healing testimonies. This is why a lot of the modern healing is failing us today. Because we're leading with the masculinity of the light. Oh, just because it's the light first, and then you take a little bit from sound, a little bit from E. Remember, this is feminine, masculine. The right brain, the left brain. And since we're patriarchal, all you're fixated on is light, being light beings, sun bodies, star seeds. I want enlightenment. I want to be one of the elites, the elites. I want to be a star, whether it's a monstar, a sus-star, yeah? A superstar. I want to be in the light. And that modern approach with leading with the light and ignoring the sound. The result is that you got a bunch of overwhelmed, resisted, shut down, and burned out, chronic conditioned people on the planet. And you cannot light a system that hasn't settled and got regulated. Let us allow you to learn how that sounds open the door. Things that work with your waters. Remember that sound, it's the water. It's the sun, right? Temperature and fluids. Sound opens the door. Light's going to show you the path. Healing happens when both are married, when both are honored in the relationship. In order. Do you need both? Yes. Yes. Yes, you need both. And food and herbs provide both the sound and the light. They provide them both in stored and in transformed formats. Food and herbs are frequency carriers. They're frequency carriers translated into matter so the body can receive them safely. But you got to understand that this ain't processed foods. This ain't prepackaged. This ain't genetically modified. This is the real deal stuff that we're speaking of. Food and herbs are light condensed into matter and sound organized into structure. The good thing about food and herbs is that they don't require you to turn on the radio. They don't require you to step outside because they store the memory of those forces from nature. Listen to me what I just said. All right. Listen to me what I just said, all right? Plants are like solar recorders. Okay? Through their photosynthesis, plants will download that light. They will capture that light frequency. And they will convert that light frequency over into chemical bonds. And then they will store those things as sugars in your body, as minerals, also as pigments. So when you eat plants, you are literally consuming stored light. You're literally consuming circadian information. You're literally consuming seasonal timing. Oh boy, you're literally consuming God. You're literally consuming color frequency, spectrum memory. This is why when you eat those bright foods like oranges and bananas and stuff, you get that kiddish feeling, that energized feeling. That's why when you eat seasonal foods, they regulate your rhythm. That's why when you eat fresh foods, you feel light, not heavy. Food provides orientation of energy. It tells the body when and how to grow. But light, the light via the food. That's what's going to give your cells direction, the timing. And then you got the foods that will provide the sound. That sound in plants is called vibrational structure. Sound can shape the plants through the wind and the rain. Sound can shape the plants through soil pressure and root resonance. Sound can shape the plants through environmental rhythms. And they download it and take it with them. And this creates in the plants or in you, your cell wall geometry, your mineral lattices, your water structure that I'm telling you about, sound, man, your growth rhythm. And when you consume herbs, so we're going to put over here foods, provide the light. Herbs provide the sound. And when you consume these herbs, their structure will interact with your fluids. Their minerals affect your nerve signaling. Their bitterness, their aroma, their texture, it'll stimulate your vagal tone. Herbs speak to the body through vibration, not information. Herbs speak to the body through vibration, not information. And this will send signals of regulation and safety. And the big difference between food and herbs is that food is a broad spectrum light storage. They have gentle vibrational output or input. They're good for daily nourishment, structure rebuilding. Food is good for. Food says, hey, you need some energy? I'll give it to you and give you the materials to help you rebuild. That's what food does. But somebody say herbs in the chat. Herbs is going to come in and give you more of a concentrated patterning. It's going to have more of a targeted vibrational influence on your body. More signal amplification, more directional nudges. Herbs say, let's adjust the rhythm of this person. Let's pay attention to the conditions. And this is why the herbs make you feel intelligent. Or this is why you think herbs are intelligent. This is why you think herbs are specific. That you think herbs are communicating. Because they know how to through vibration. Because if you look at it, a lot of these herbs have been without the light for a long time. They're dried herbs. So that's why we're trying to teach you about growing your own food, but then understanding the forces that these herbs and foods have within. And you can take these foods and herbs and heal yourself without force. Because they're not going to override your body like meds. They're not going to impose direction like some of these practices you guys do. They're not going to shock the system like some of these detoxes and cold water stuff. Y'all doing stuff crazy, stimulating an overstimulated body. They offer information and structure that the body knows is safe for it to decide on which one without it being harmful. Plants are going to suggest to the body things and allow the body to choose. Don't force your body with these meds. And that is why plant-based healing, it feels so much more cooperative and not so aggressive. Food carries stored light. Herbs carry patterned vibration. Nutrition feeds the structure. Herbs guide the rhythm. Plants deliver frequency in a form that the body can trust. We eat information, not just calories. You need to know the difference between the two. And that's why this synthetic stuff feels so different to your body. Taking in all these highly processed inputs. These things are stripped of the light memory. They have no season, they have no sun knowledge in them. Like you see the rings around a tree is letting you know all of the stuff that it's seen the sun's revolution. It's seen all this dry season and wet season. Just like you say, I did one revolution around the sun today. Well, the tree know how to take that time. The crystals know how to store that time. But processed foods are stripped of the season and of the sun. And that's going to disrupt vibrational coherence. We already know. that also provides chemistry without rhythm, processed stuff. Your body may absorb this stuff, but it does not recognize it. It does not recognize them in the same way. The body responds best to what it remembers from the sun and the wind and the rain. That's the life it's giving off to you. It's life for yours. The body responds best to what remembers the sun and the wind. Light becomes food. Sound becomes structure. Plants got both of them. And this is why foods is going to help you rebuild, but the right foods. You get it in your owner's manual. This is why herbs is going to help you regulate, but the right herbs. You get it in your owner's manual. This is why sound is going to help stabilize you, but it's the right sound. You get it in your owner's manual. This is why light is going to direct you, but the right direction. You get that in your owner's manual. And all four of these things together will restore your life. All four of these things together will restore your life. Anybody got any questions thus far? Anybody got any questions thus far? Anybody got any questions thus far? Sound and light are necessary. We absorb them differently. Okay? We can absorb them simultaneously. But sound gonna hit first. Well, you will want sound to hit first. I will want sound to hit first. I will want sound to hit first because it's gonna help regulate me before I get the task. Okay? Anybody got any issues they want to talk about? All of these herbs we work with, we know what got the vibrations in them. We understand what got the light in them, you guys. We understand all of these different things. So we use herbs that are very hot, highly light absorber. Okay? They absorb a lot of sunlight, Irish moss and bladderwrack. Okay? We have herbs like barberry root and burdock root and yellow dot root, nettles, blessed thistle, blue vervain, okay, horsetail, valerian root. A lot of different herbs we work with to be able to get you what you need. I have questions as far as wearing stones and magnets. Is that vibration? Yes, but bridge to the T. What I'm teaching is how to do internal. Okay, internal. So we don't have to need external means. But yes, they also hold, because they are influenced by the water. Most of the time, those rocks were bed rocks where the water ran over. So they gave off the minerals in the water. But remember that all comes from that's a sound being created as well. So that both of them share things there. Okay. So the rocks are picking up the memory of the water being there. That's why you see the Grand Canyon. You can tell we was underwater. It's still holding the water rings. That means it's still holding some type of vibration. So the rocks can hold, the earth can hold it, water can hold it, this, that, and the third. But more importantly, what if you can't get to the rocks? What if you can't get some of this stuff? Then I'm trying to teach you how to produce it within you. Okay? And I think that's far better of information is produce it within you. Burdock root, not burdock rocks. What's going on, Shelly? How you guys doing? Anybody got any questions? What's happening? What's happening? Okay, understand my joints are rusty like a tin man. I'm doing herbs, quick coffee. Okay, bridge to the T. If you really want to get over it and stop playing with it, get your owner's manual. Okay? Because when you're looking at tissues and rusty joints, that means you got some synovial fluid issues. Okay? Synovial fluid issues. And if you do your research on what synovial fluid is, and then you'll come back to me and let me know. But we have herbs already ready for that shit. You know what I'm saying? If you got joint stillness and arthritis, rheumatoid, osteoarthritis, or any kind of synovial fluid diseases is what they like to be up under. But everybody, we already know about that stuff. Bursitis, knee hip regeneration. I mean, cartilage degeneration, gout, all these different things, man. There's already a combination out there for that, and we have that. Okay, we have that. So if you're just looking for that, DM me, and then we'll get you. I'm in financial transition. I mean, most of you guys are, so you're coming on here trying to find free information. But the bottom line is you got to put it into practicality, okay? You got to put it into practicality. A lot of people come on here because they ain't got money for this, they got money for that. But you had enough money to put yourself in that situation, Bridge to the T. You got enough money to put yourself in that situation. You gonna eat today. So instead of investing in another meal that you done ate, invest in your healing. Invest in your healing. You'll spend $35 in a heartbeat. Get $35 to get your joints right instead of getting $35 to make them more worse. Do you worry about the fake sun chemicals being sprayed, changing the vibe, health of the plants? Yes. Yes, because the thing about it is when your land is disconnected like that, then that means that's how you are. We are only mirror of what we're doing to the universe. We're only a mirror of what we're doing to the universe. So when you're spraying your plants and you're doing all this type of stuff, then it's going to affect you. Remember what I'm teaching you guys is what is the most important thing? Remember, I just had this up here before I left. If you guys didn't get that, I'm sorry, but this is also on YouTube as well. So just go and subscribe and you'll be able to go back through this. The importance of sound and light. Remember that this is your cell. Okay? This is called intra, inside the cell. There are ratios of different minerals and stuff inside this cell. Okay? So I'm just going to say, let's say everything is a 1-to-1 concentration. We just, for shits and giggles, just to teach you something real quick, okay? Most people that you've heard, Dr. Sabi and everybody's trying to copy this information without understanding it. It's not that he's wrong, it's that you don't really know what he was doing. You see what I'm saying? You don't really know. So you heard intracellular cleansing, and everybody automatically goes and run toward trying to fix the inside of the cell. And so that's fine. That is doable. Okay, listen to me. That's fine. That's doable. You can bum rush the inside of the cell to get this concentration back to 1 and 1, right? But you bypass the extracellular, the environment. You dealt with the issue without dealing with the environment. So over time, the environment will influence the inside of the cell to go back to 3 and 1. And then you got to go back to the doctor and do another cancer treatment, intracellular. You got to go back to Dr. Sabi. You got to go back to these people and keep doing this treatment because I'm just trying to tell you how TI is the truth. Okay? And so we understood that is the ongoing issue. It's a treatment system, not a healing system. This is a healing system, not a treatment system. Okay? So you got to understand the environment will affect you. So if they are blocking the sun and spraying chemicals on plants, and if you don't ever fight against it, if you don't ever do something about it, then eventually, even if you're trying to have a good little household and look, you done tended to your finances and you done got your ratios in order and you got your little husband and kids and you got your house and your car and you got every little ratio that you don't want. You got your little degree and your bank account. You got all of this. So you dealt with the inside of the home. You dealt with everything, but you never ever changed your neighborhood, your community. You never changed the school system. You never looked at that as being an influence because you were just trying to get your money. Well, guess what? That's why a nigga come to your door and bust you upside the head with that thing. That's why the school system would do something to your children, because you was focused on here and not the environment, because you thinking that all I need to do is change my little life, my children's life, and I'm going to be all right, until the outside of that house be an influence on your life. Change the world, my brothers and sisters, if you want your home to be safe. But if you just change your home, you might become the prey. You can't be one rich person in a world full of poor people and think they ain't come to get you. You can't do it like that. Okay? Helping me medically, emotionally, and lifestyle. Yes, holistically. Emre. Holistically, Emre. That's what we do. So now that we understand the influence of the environment, we can't keep doing this. Does this work? Yes. But is it temporary? Yes. Now, but now if I come out here and say, okay, I need for this to be the right ratio, even though this is 3.1, even if I don't deal with you intracellularly and I just deal with you extracellularly, eventually me putting this back in order will put this back in order. Even if I don't even know how to do intracellular, but I just know how to clean up the waters, the extracellular. If I just know how to do that, just by sheer nature, it'll influence the intracellular change. You see that? We know how to work this thing. And for that little funky measly $50, we'll let it work for you. Okay? This is just an opportunity. We're just offering an opportunity. Nothing more than that. Education is free, but consultation. Offering you an opportunity to get back on track, understanding the design of the body. If you guys are dealing with sexual issues, sound and light. Sound and light. With that, you just got to know how to cook the herbs. But again, that's also a nervous system issue. We have the herbs in there for that. We got the herbs in there for that, man. We'll show you how to cook them right, so you can go back to beating down the block, my brother. We show them how to cook it right, so you can go back to being soft and wet, my sister. This stuff ain't rocket science. Yes, Sandra. You can send it any way you want to. PayPal, on the website, or you can DM me here. Anybody else that got issues, that need to understand what herbs and foods they need. The glitch said really interesting. Thank you. My pleasure for being interesting, right? That's what this is all about. So I appreciate that. That's a great compliment, the glitch. That the best thing I can do is be interesting, then I did my job. I always used to say, I can't promise you riches, but I can promise you interesting. I can definitely promise you interesting. All right. You guys will appreciate all the taps and the likes. We got up to 70K. We got about an hour left. If you guys are interested in anything else, we can continue. If not, I'm gonna let you guys go, okay? But I want you guys to understand that sound and light, the reason why I'm teaching you about this vibration frequency, is I don't want you to be thinking that it's the radio, and I don't need you to be thinking that I'm telling you about a TV, and I don't need you to be thinking that I'm telling you about a podcast or a Scream or TikTok or even my social media page to do this. I'm trying to teach you how important your sound is. Can somebody say my sound? Just put my sound in there. My sound. I'm trying to teach you how important your sound is. Your sound. Don't cut on the radio. No guided meditation. No scrolling. No TV. No radio. Your sound. And a lot of you guys are scared of your own sound. A lot of you guys are so disconnected from your own sound. It makes you feel shameful. It makes you feel less than or whatever. But you got to get back. See, so well, I don't be knowing what to say. I don't know what to sing. Nothing. Just make a sound. Just make your sound, and then you need to fall back in love with your sound. You think you sound bad, that's not good. If you think you sound bad, that's not good. If you keep requiring external things, another man's voice to soothe you, some rocks to soothe you, anything. If you keep having to require external means to deal with you internally, you're going to miss out on this information. That means medication, that's external. Food and herbs is external. Stones and crystals are external. If you keep requiring external things, you'll never get the meaning of life itself. We're trying to get you used to that. Can't sleep at night. Can't get so on my phone. Sometimes think too much at night. Yeah, Omri, you got to cut everything off at least 30 minutes to an hour before you sleep. Okay, everything got to go off 30 minutes to an hour before you sleep. Another thing, you guys are not, y'all, we sometimes get confused with what tired and rest mean. Okay, some of you guys get confused at what tired and rest mean. They're not the same. And a lot of us, just because you working 40 hours or 50 hours a week, that don't mean that your body really is tired. You wake up, sit down in the car. Get up from the car, sit down at the desk. Or in another truck or another driver's seat. Get out of that seat and sit back down in your car. Get out of that seat and sit down on your couch. Get out of that seat and sit your ass in the bed. Body ain't designed for that. Now you're doing that every day and you thinking in your mind that's work. But your body don't feel that work. So half of you guys are not tired enough to go to sleep. You've been resting all day. You've been resting all day, man. You ain't tired enough to go to sleep. But because you're working and you're programmed in this work schedule, you done ate 3 times a day, like you just been sweating. You done ate 3 times. You got all of this energy and haven't done no burning it out. Keeping the body under stimulation. Keeping the body under stimulation. So you got to understand that a lot of us are not as tired and sleepy as we need to be. You got, like some of these kids, when you let your baby run out here in the park for a half a day, they're going to come in here and knock out because they literally usurped all their energy. And you want that type of sleep. And if you can find something to do in your life that can let you go to bed dog tired, you'll see it don't matter if TV on. It don't matter if the police out there. It don't matter if the fire truck. It don't matter if it's New Year's Eve. And since we're not living those types of lives like that, then we have to smoke and drink to mimic that drowsiness and tiredness and sleepiness. And once you understand that, then you'll realize that you can't get no sleep out of that no more. A lot of us are just not tired enough to go to sleep, no matter how hard you've been working, because it's the work that you do that is unnatural to the body. Okay, Emery? So make sure that you're able to be dog tired, bro, before bed. And let's see how I don't want to say take no supplements or herbs and nothing like that for sleep, because the thing about your body is if you take stuff to boo-boo, right? Let's say you got a boo-boo, but your colon ain't working right. You always got to take a laxative. You'll always have to take a laxative. Your colon will go on vacation. So we don't want your pineal gland to go on vacation with your circadian rhythm and sleep, my brother. So we don't want you to have to be dependent on melatonin or something like that to go to sleep. We want you to be able to see that your body can do it. It just, you got to put it under the right environment, the right conditions. And with the right conditions, you will get tired enough to go back to sleep and get good sleep. Anybody else got any other questions? Anybody else got any other questions? And you guys got to be careful with some of these things, because they could be alarm clocks, right? Remember, these are things that can be alarms to other things going on. Okay, so insomnia ain't nothing to play with, and you don't want to play with that. You just don't want to play with that, right? So you want to get that fixed because that could be a cerebral spinal fluid issue, right? And we already got a mix for that, right? So if you guys are dealing with brain fog, insomnia, anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's, dementia, these little names they be throwing out there. If y'all dealing with anything like that, man, migraine, seizures, stuff like that, all these little brain things. Well, we already got a blend for that, already ready for you. It's ready to go. As soon as you press back up, it'll be into the mail. Because we know that skullcap and valerian root and blue vervain and Irish moss and bladderwrack will help all of that cerebral spinal fluid stuff. Okay? We understand because why? We're attacking the environment, the sound, the vibration. Tinnitus of the ear. Do you have high blood pressure? King Smith, BDA. Do you have high blood pressure? Probably do. Probably do. King Smith, BDA. Do you have high blood pressure? Did they tell you that? With your tinnitus of the ear. I'll be watching you again, just going into silence. Yes, yes. Peace, 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 peace. Okay, then, King. If you don't got that, even if you did, that was fine. But if you don't, get you some ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba. Any advice for me? I always got stuck between the vibration status when Astro Project. Don't try to Astro Project, Alvar. You're doing it wrong. You need to have your spirit enter the body, not leave the body, Alvar. What you trying to do? Go to heaven first? The heaven is on earth. It ain't in nowhere else. It ain't no astro planing, man. I don't believe in that bull crap, okay? I know y'all young people like to get on here and think somebody all floofly and fluff like that. I'm real deal Holyfield. I'm the realest cat on the block when it comes to this shit. We don't do all of that puff magic. Okay? We don't do that puff magic. Stop trying to run from your problems and solve them by learning how to bring spirit into matter, my brother. That should be the alchemical understanding that you should be learning. And I know you might not get this everywhere else, so you might have to go back to my YouTubes and kind of learn what I'm teaching here. But I'm teaching us how to descend, not ascend. We're already too high-minded. We're already too high-minded, you know what I'm saying? So we want to be able to bring it down in, because I'm telling you this right here, I just gave you the secret. If you can learn this and bring your spirit into matter, then that's when you're supernatural. That's when your supernatural abilities come, not when you in your sleep. But we need for you to be able to astroplane while you living and be able to tell people and use it as a gift, not go somewhere when you sleep, then come back and can't nobody else go with you. So therefore, learn how to bring it into the matter and astroplane while your eyes are open and you're right here with us. Therefore, you can give us direction, you can give us correction, you can give us intellection, you can give us all the stuff that you would get when you go. You get it while you're here. Because anybody that can astroplane, that means that you can go at least to tomorrow and see the number. And if you can astroplane, you should be able to go over there at least to 7 o'clock tomorrow night or 7 o'clock tonight and see what the cash 3 is. That's why I don't believe it, my brother. If you leave in your body, go see what the number gonna be and come and hit it. And you ain't nobody gonna know you hitting the number like that. You'll be rich. And then you tell people how you got rich. But if you guys are learning how to leave your body and ain't coming back with no fruitful information, I personally don't want to go there. I want to be able to come and tell you this. And you see what I'm teaching? Because I learned how to integrate the spirit into the body. So I'm being my God self right here. I'm the demigod right here, not in my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like Eddie Murphy, I'm giving you my demigod right here, baby. This is my demigod. When I leave here, I'm gonna have a like a baseball card, a football card. You're gonna say I existed. The HerbMan, 1979 to whenever I leave. I was here, baby. I was present. I was a demigod. There'll be a statue after me. What I built is for longevity. It don't leave when I go. My children gonna eat off this brain, off this knowledge. Demigod. You get it? Do it now. Now. Let me see the benefits of it now. Then we'll teach it. Until then, I can't put that out there because you should know way more than what we know if we astroplaning. We should know way more than what we know if we astroplaning, man. I ain't astroplaning, bro. I'm living right here, right now today. I ain't going nowhere until I gotta go. All I'm doing is waking up every day, looking at the sun, getting the downloads, understanding 46 years of life, understanding life lessons, understanding my downfalls and my achievements, putting it all together, understanding what these folks taught me versus what I taught myself. And then you start to carve out your own niche of who you're going to be and what your people going to be from your existence. And I'm so fully locked in on creating heaven on earth. I ain't trying to go and leave earth for heaven. I'm so busy locked in on trying to create my heaven on earth that I'm not fixated on leaving earth to go nowhere. I'm staying here, bringing it down and showing you, showing you spirit in a man without a suit, without a costume. Real transformation. Without being rich. Without being educated and studied, no degree. Real. And when we get enough of us doing this, instead of taking life, enriching life, you're going to want to be here. You're going to want to be here too. You ain't going to want to go nowhere. Strong point of view. I'm glad I turned you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all. You know, I love y'all, man. Yes, 10 toes down. Yes, yes, man. Let's show them. Let's show our children, man. Show our boys, show our girls. God in the flesh. Not God out of the flesh, man. They deserve to see it in the flesh. Let's show our children and our girls God in the flesh. God in the flesh. Not in the book. It's us. The G is in us. The G is in us. The G is us. But you can't, the G you trying to be can't be alone. The only way we become the major God is we got to be little collective gods. And you ain't never seen gods cooperate with other ones like that. Because they always busy somewhere being a god. And until we learn how to mesh, how to vibrate together, how to use these platforms and use sound and light and put more meaning behind this word right here. How many people think they know what I'm finna say? Use these platforms and use the understanding of sound and light, vibration first, to do what? Change. It start with an A. D. Somebody said authenticity. We talking about social media, platforms and social media, using sound and light to change the, I'll give you another clue, A-L. And then the last word is rhythm. Thank you, Umre. Umre becoming a star student on their first day. See, there's a reason why you think that this word is what it is. change the algorithm. The algorithm goes with our vibration. It goes with our vibration. Well, how do they know my vibration? By you tapping. You keep tapping that screen by your scrolling. You keep scrolling, it's sending frequency signals. The frequency is not only a sound, but it's also how often. And if you keep watching big booty videos often, more of them will come up. If you keep watching violence often, the frequency ain't just the sound, it is also how often you're doing something. So you change the algorithm. So your swiping, it is sending frequency. When you stop on this and you stop on that, you ain't got to stop on it no more. We're going to bring some more of those topics up because you are creating the rhythm with your finger. Algorithm. So now you keep stopping on me and y'all keep locking into this information. Then more of this will come up. But you'll start changing the algorithm. The algorithm of your life. The algorithm of your life is what I'm trying to teach you. How to change the algorithm of your life. Learning how to use the environmental tools or environmental resources like sound and light, and learning how to manipulate them so that you can see that this is heaven. And I'm teaching you how to bring the spirit into matter so that you can be able to use this, your superpowers. You can use this. This is sound and light. It came with it. Nothing extra, no batteries included. This is nothing external, all internal. Do you know how to manipulate temperature and fluids? Do you know how to manipulate sound and light? So the diagnosis is what? Dia is what? The day. It's a light gnosis. Gnosis means to know. Diagnosis means that you know the light. Diagnosis means you know the light, but you don't know the sound. Doctors know the light, but they don't know the sound. They can't heal you. Preachers claim to know the light, but all they know is sound. They're teaching you about the light, but all they know is sound. And I went down and I heard. They use sound teaching you about the light. Doctors use light, ignoring the sound. You need somebody that can put it both together. Less talking, more feeling. Intently try to feel and connect with hundreds of people on your live. What podcast is a million subscriber podcast, but they don't say nothing? That's what I want. A place where you could just come in and not do nothing. There's nothing required. There's nothing required. Yes, Aaron, I love herbs. I adore herbs. Matter of fact, one of my most famous picks in my herb shop when I had it was I love herbs, right? Yeah, man, that's it, man. Silence. Just create a platform where people can just come and speak in silence. Be healed in silence. When I was coming up, we used to go to church like that, believe it or not. When I was coming up, I'm from the country. So when I was coming up, man, it wasn't a whole lot of jibber, jibber, jabba, jabba, boola, 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 especially in the beginning of church. It wasn't nothing but a whole lot of just rocking and foot stomping. Yeah, we ain't had no drummer. You know, back then, if your son couldn't drum, you ain't got no money to pay for that. Back then, if your cousin can't play the piano, you ain't got no piano player. back then, if your auntie can sing, that she was the leader of the choir. See, back then, it wasn't about music. It was about the sound coming from out of the people. And the people let you know what they were hearing it through their cry, through their songs. It was called testimony service. And you get to hear the people and the voice of the people and what God did in those people's books to get a pulse. And I started to learn that you don't got to read the Bible. You come to testimony service and you will get a pulse, a vibe of what's going on in your community. And I felt like that should have been the best preacher, one that can, once you know it, you know it. Hell, I ain't opened the Bible in over 20 years. But y'all see, I know it like the back of my hand. Because once you get it, you got it, you good. You move on to what you need to be doing with it. I ain't got to open up no book every 5 minutes to try to prove nothing to you. I'm going to be that which I'm teaching. And I'm not trying to be like Christ. I'm just trying to do what it says and have the mind of Christ. I just want his mind. Take everything else. Got to learn this stuff, man. Tears of joy from the beautiful symphony of harmony, truth, algorithmic vibes filling me up. That's what we're looking for in the show. A place for folks to come and dump it out. And you can do that without trying to facilitate each person's, just think about if mama came into the room. If your mama had 8 billion children and everybody came to family reunion, why I got to introduce you to your mama for? But let me stop. You got to make a way over there to mama and just say, hey, yourself. I don't need my brother or my sister trying to take me to mama like this color purple. You know what I'm saying? Hey, mama, you know. Yeah, you judging on me and your mama again. Come on, man. You know, mama know you. You make your way back over there to her. And she'll show you the love she's been showing. But it's time for you to show her some love, and that's your nature. Mama gave you a nature that you have forgotten. She said, I gave you everything you need. That boy telling y'all the truth. But because you're living in a consumptive programming, you think that it's something outside of you because nobody's taught you how to press these little buttons in your own spacesuit. But there is a button you press to heal your kidneys. In you. There's a button in you that you can press to heal your depression and anxiety, to heal your arthritis, to heal your tumors and cancers, to heal your STDs, to heal your autoimmune diseases. There's a healing button in you. You the one wearing that spacesuit. But let me teach you how to use your sound and light so that either you can feel it or you can find it with the light. These are your two instrumentations, sound and light, to change your algorithms, to find your buttons, to heal your life. Yes, sir. Any other questions? Sound and light. Sound and light. I'm having memory issues. I'm not as creative, passionate, or funny. What do I do? Again, that's still cerebral spinal fluid stuff. Aren't you the same one that say you can't sleep, Emery? Or insomnia or something like that? You know, I don't remember everything. Okay? But any kind of brain issues, all that type of stuff, yeah, I thought that was you. That's why. You see? So I automatically just told you right then, we got whatever you need, bro. So, if you're wanting something, email us. I think that package is $35 plus shipping. So you're probably looking at about $50 to get it to your front door. Okay. But at the end of the day, all you're going to be doing is hooked on herbs if you don't figure out how to change your circadian rhythm. Okay. You need to learn how to go to sleep. Deep breathing, in the nose, out the mouth, 30 times. You'll start feeling lightheaded. You'll start feeling hot, and then you'll take your ass to sleep. Simple as that. The email you can DM me and I'll give you my email, okay? But it is in the link here on the bio, right? Shaking of the head when calm. Yeah, that's nervous system king. Yeah, that's that nervous system, okay? So yeah, you too, you're gonna be needing the same thing. Okay. But you definitely want to get that ginkgo biloba. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Uh what we got here? Let me check on my YouTubers as well. What's happening? What's happening, YouTube? I know they be like, you don't even pay attention to us. Yes, I do. I pay attention to everything. But you know, people like to talk more on this tick. Oh, yes, no problem, man. My pleasure. My pleasure to help each and every one of you guys, okay? Again, if you guys are dealing with anything and you really, really are trying to get that stuff rectified, DM us and we'll help you out, okay, man? I love you guys, man. We'll talk more about the efficacy of sound and light. Remember that foods and herbs all have them. Your food carries the light, the herbs carry the sound. You put those together and you're going to be able to have what you need for the internal and external aspects of your life. But you also need to know about the nature-based interventions. You know, you need to know about singing and dancing and humming and crying and touching and, you know, all of these different aspects and how to use them in your time of need. Instead of being coping mechanisms, you start using these completion mechanisms, right? And so if something calls for you to dance, don't be embarrassed. Get out here and do it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Show, express, get it out. Okay? If something is making you happy enough to hum a tune, get it out. If something is making you sad enough to cry, get it out. If something is making you happy enough to laugh, get it out. Stop suppressing your emotions. They're turning into your diseases. I love you guys. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. 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 See, he trying to get hot again, so he won't say his own name back there. You see that? I ain't studying it. I ain't got time. I'm gonna wait till they get older. They'll realize who dad is. All right. Until then, I'm gonna keep them working for it. They don't get it for free. Peace. Yes, sir. Bye bye, everybody.